So I think if you watch this tell-all with your husband or straight boyfriend, or probably not a gay boyfriend, but if you're sitting there and you don't think they're paying attention, or they're on their phone, or they're just there to support you, or or petting the dog or something like that. They're half asleep,
playing Final Fantasy or fantasy football on their phone.
But all of a sudden, when Ashley says, "I watch more porn than Manuel," you know what I love? I love girl on girl. And Liz went, "Yeah, I'm into it too. It's like boobs. I just love boobs." And y'all, your husband just went, "Squirrel." Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes, let's love.
That's where they got all the straight men real quick. Smart planning.
This is
That was the only that was the only thing designed for straight men by straight men in the entire thing.
It was like the episode we covered last week of the Family Chantel, episode 1 of season 3, where Pedro looks fucking like a powerhouse with his arms washing his car. But Chantel, literally, as you said, looks like someone from a Whitesnake video.
Yeah, it's like they're washing a car or like Warrant cherry pie.
Cherry,
she's my cherry pie.
Got her tits out, and it's porn. So
porn.
This is, and y'all, if your husband, boyfriend, fuck buddy, whatever, if he pops up, just let him have it, because think of what he's had to sit through and watch because you watch this shit.
He's had to watch Gino sucking or Jasmine sucking Gino's toes.
Yes, he had to watch just, I don't know, Paul getting a lock of hair from his mother.
Oh, that was a great episode.
But still, he had to hear about Danielle having a smelly vagina.
Oh,
so see,
those were the salad days.
Yeah, y'all. He had to watch all this shit.
Let him have something.
Men's
rights now. that was the last episode.
Yeah, This is part 2. Well, our part 2.
Our part 2 of the tell-all part 2.
Part 2, yes.
And
Season
it's
8,
snowing.
It's raining and it's snowing. It is. Oh, we did. Thank you. That was another thing. I think that we had a lot of people who are like, wait, when did they film this? Because so much drama happened with Nicole and Mahmoud and with Angela and Michael. And we had y'all.
Our sissy squad went to
no
work.
Detective like the sissy squad. You bitches.
One bitch went, we had a nor'easter here, and I know it was this time. The only snow that was possible at this amount was this time.
I'm concerned that some of you aren't tending either to your children or your day jobs. Please don't get fired or lose custody.
They got better things to do. Your kids will raise the kids will raise themselves. It's like the Plath kids. It's fine.
However, Plath. Oh, that season, it's great.
Your kids need to be more independent anyway.
They do. Plathville is fantastic, and so is Lalu on our $8 tier.
Give them an iPad. That's what I do with my nieces and nephews.
Yeah. But still, you were saying what kind of was the consensus of when they think this was filmed?
Late February, or actually mid-February, because supposedly that's when charges were filed. Domestic violence charges were filed. So Mahmoud could have been in jail, or he could have skipped the country. Also, they think Michael fled Angela's in late February. So all that happened after the tell-all was filmed.
Makes sense. He's got everybody talking to him in here going, the fuck?
And some of you have wondered why I think we haven't denied that happened. Michael went on the run. We talked about it because we're not necessarily a news podcast. It's actually something that's not covered on the show. So we don't talk about stuff like that as much. We'll talk about rumors.
We bring it up, but we don't go in depth about it. Yeah.
Because most of the things that have been said about it have been only Michael or Angela. And obviously, like it's until we get something that's on the show, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it.
No, because in this case, this seems very true, but in some things we don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
And also it never pays off for us to talk for a long time about it because it's never, y'all, it's going to change. Going to be brought up on the show. It's never going to be. If Jeffrey and Var, like nothing, it never ever gets brought up. It's frustrating. We get it. But it's just, so that's why we just kind of briefly mention it. We know other podcasts go like way in detail and figure out when and where.
Go for it.
Pink Shade. Kim and Kyle from Cray Cray do that as
for it.
We have never been.
We encourage you to listen to them too. We're all friends.
We are. I'm actually going to. Oh, yeah. I just recorded. Let's see. By the time this drops, it will be out. But I want to get the name right because I want to say it. But I'm going to be, I guess, but sometimes Kim messages me because basically Kyle doesn't want to cover things. And she's like, well, like Last Resort. She was like, will you talk about this with me? And I'm like, sure. So we're going to be talking about the first 2 episodes of Simone Biles Rising on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that.
Why does Kyle want to do that? They talk about documentaries.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have time. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Can't speak for him.
It's why do you not want to do Last Resort? I have people already emailing me asking me if we're going to cover it. I'm like, Poodle won't do it.
I don't know. I need to see who the cast is.
It actually, the reason why we didn't cover Last Resort last time, and it kind of depends this time too, there was just already so much Matt Sharp.
We had too much shit.
We didn't have time. So
with Toe running concurrently, there's just no way. Yeah,
I don't know when it's supposed to premiere the next one. Maybe
if it's Gino and Jasmine, Rob and Sophie, which those are the rumors.
It does seem like it's setting all of them up for that.
Yeah, Gino and Jasmine, Rob and Sophie. I would love to see Ashley Manuel. I don't think they would do it. I don't think Manuel would do it, actually.
I think other people have more problems, honestly. But the therapists we interviewed, the therapists were great last year. So if they have the same caliber of therapists, to see Rob and Sophie,
I kind of think that's where they belong on a show like that. And they belong with a therapist screaming at them, neither of you needs to be with the other. Even though a therapist is probably not going to say that. I don't think
a therapist isn't going to scream at you. Normally, they're very...
I would. You could pay me to do it.
Yeah, instead of paying Poodle, just use our BetterHelp code, everybody.
You can just pay me to scream at you things that you should be doing. I'll scream in a helpful way, not an Angela way.
We need to move on. Any other...
90 Day UK. I'm sorry. The reunion's coming next week. Love is Blind UK coming August 7th. We will have the first 4 episodes for you on midnight on the 8th.
Because it airs on the 7th. And so we're going to be dropping...
Everything drops on the 7th. 4 episodes drop on the 7th at midnight. And then our episodes drop on the 8th at midnight.
Which is this month, because as you're listening to this, it's Augusto. Can you believe it?
Or in French, août.
God, ooh, half the year's gone. I guess I didn't get everything I wanted to get done. I don't know if Muffin's going to get that playpen.
That's very much like something she would say.
Yeah.
I got to call her today. Oh my God. It's been a while.
Oh no.
Yeah. I could feel her across the miles. Her anxiety.
Wondering, and you didn't even tell her you had COVID, right?
I did not. It's better to tell her after.
Hey,
she doesn't
Mom.
need to know things beforehand.
Hey, Mom, I just wanted to let you know I lost a leg. I'm doing fine, but I can only kick with my right leg now because my left's gone.
I would still, if I lost a leg, tell her later.
Shark attack. Sorry, Mom.
It's better to talk to relay later than have her worry.
I get it.
I'm almost over COVID.
I try not to do that now because my mother does that when things, and so I can't ask my mother not to do that and then do the same. So you're not there yet.
This whole life's unfair. Why not? Why not just add to it?
All right, y'all. So it's a new dawn. It's a new day.
The B90 trailer is out, y'all. B90 season 7.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
We got a couple to talk about too. If y'all, for each episode, we're talking about a new couple. And
we're talking about a new couple.
This is season 7 of B90 premiering on September 1st on Max and TLC. And today we're going to be talking about Rain, 38 from New Mexico, and Chidi. If
you watch
34.
The Good Place, it's the same name.
Okay. Chidi, 34 from Nigeria. Boy, sentence I don't want to read. Rain is a chicken farmer from New Mexico. Great. We're just going to see birds that are going to terrify me. I'm thrilled. Having never been lucky in love, she has long craved intimacy and physical affection, and she thinks she may have finally found it with Chidi, a man from Nigeria with whom she has been talking online for the past 5 years.
I can't wait to talk about these two people.
Not long after their relationship started to blossom, Rain sent Chidi sexy selfies and was baffled when he wasn't responding to them until she found out he was blind.
I'm so excited.
Rain loves the fact that Chidi is blind because it eases her insecurities about her looks.
What could go wrong?
Rain's family and friends have concerns that she isn't ready for the realities of being with a blind person and that her unconventional beliefs will not mesh with Chidi's Christianity.
I'm leaning in.
But Rain is sure she and Chidi are meant to be together. After 5 years, Rain knows
5 years.
40 years. After 5 years, Rain knows this trip is high stakes for them both and is looking for a sense of commitment from Chidi and a willingness to move to the United States.
I just have to play this small clip of him saying, I took a vow of celibacy before God. I'm not having sex before marriage. And her saying it. Notice her pronunciation of the word celibacy. Fuck. Hold on. I had it queued up and it fucked me. Okay, here we go.
Until we get married. This is the vow I made to God.
Chidi and I talk about everything. Now all of a sudden you're telling me your little celibacy story?
Celibacy.
I'm going to make fun of this woman's way of speech. Now all of a sudden you're telling me your little celibacy story? Celibacy story?
I don't like her lipstick in the press photo already. It's that dark brown lipstick, and I feel like it's just going to make me...
now all of a sudden you're telling me your little celibacy story?
Yeah.
Bring it on! I can't wait!
It looks great. There's a lot of couples this season, y'all. There's 8, in fact. We will be talking about all of them as a build-up to Before the 90 Days, premiering on September 1st on Max and TLC. So we'll be doing a couple each on each of our Hey episodes because we figured it's at least something to laugh at this tell-all. Although these tells have been funny. So, okay.
But if you're done with Happily Ever After, some of you have been done since episode 1.
I'm actually not yet.
But if you've been done, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And it is a crazy light of celibacy. She does have a little Danielle about her.
All right.
Celibacy.
Is that it?
That is it.
All right. It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
All right.
And you're a bottom feeder. Again, apparently not sexual. Didn't know. Y'all, they're all getting ready. And Sophie's getting ready. She's like, I'm nervous because I'm nervous to do all segment. But don't worry, it's not today. Gino and Jasmine did sleep in the same bed, right? But they didn't know hanky panky, right?
No, they slept in the same bedroom, but not in the same
Bedroom.
bed.
Thank you.
One thing that was interesting, I wrote down after Sophie said, she said, I'm not sure how people are going to be on my side. It's so interesting that it's not she's thinking about validation for this tell-all. And
I think she's thinking about that, but she's also thinking of, she's been in these tell-alls, but seeing a lot of these tell-alls that people, this is what they want now. People will gang up.
Yeah.
And so I think, she gets very triggered and scared. If everybody came for her, I don't think they will because they know she's too fragile.
She'd fall apart.
She'd have a panic attack again. She'd have
one
to
thing
grab
I
that
also
little
wrote,
plushie.
when Rob is around other people in this season, he seems so overwhelmingly normal.
You know what? He has given them good advice.
Uncanny.
Too. It makes me wonder.
It's how he passes.
Don't get me wrong, y'all. We've seen the music videos of him and Josh and Jamal. They're all full of themselves.
Yeah.
But it does. So I'm not saying he's not a narcissist or defending him.
No, but he passes well. He seems like a normal person.
We often talk about one of my biggest pet peeves of watching a lot of these shows. I talk about it ad nauseum, but that's okay. I will, because it's when women are, quote, crazy, when it truly is the man who's kind of not giving them information, not told them da-da-da-da. And I went, oh, wait, that's flipped here a bit, because Sophie gives him nothing. So he has no idea where things stand, and it makes him look like a crazy person. Yeah. And I went, oh, fuck, I don't like this part.
Well, trust me. Don't worry, y'all. We can still hate him. He's still a terrible narcissist.
Yeah, he
but
is.
What's interesting, though, is Sophie, this season especially, Sophie has proven to be almost certainly the root of the problem. With her complete avoidance of all discussion, of all conflict.
She was not ready to be married for sure, but not even in a long-term relationship.
To be in a relationship or dating.
Yeah, that's that part. That's true.
Yeah.
Hope she doesn't get any Instacart orders.
So, the next time, I also said this. This tell-all, Loren has major main character energy through it all. She's owning what she's doing.
She's not being Karen-ish about it either.
No. But what's interesting is she's showing up big. But she's showing up as an adult, unlike how she showed up in other tell-alls.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of having grudges against people. This is feeling like she's doing it for the group, like when she comes for Ed.
That was beautiful.
And she's kind of, it's not, she's taken the mean out of it. And Loren said, so Ed, now that we're in person, do I look like a bottom feeder? And I went, okay, let's just go right to it. And Ed said, can't wait for your segment. Look forward to your perfect life. Because that's all he has. Yo, Ed is a sociopath. Like, I
gaslighter.
Yeah, I don't want to mince words. One of the worst people we've ever had.
And yes, he will make that. And it's interesting. You see what he tries to do this with Loren that worked on Liz and doesn't work on Loren.
Yeah.
But we should give context. Apparently on social media,
some interview they
were being interviewed, and she said she abhorred Ed and she didn't like him at all.
They
and
asked, what person don't you like? Yeah. And
yes,
so she
and then
said,
Ed said on another podcast, and then it was tweeted or whatever, that she should just keep her mouth shut and that
she's a bottom feeder. So, which is a really horrible thing to say.
Lauren even pointed out, she said, I talked about, I didn't like you because of your behaviors. I didn't go at you like as a person.
But Ed's always going to do that.
But Ed's always going to do it. That's why I think it's a low blow, but when people make fun of the way Ed looks like, I don't love it. But at the same time, I do think that's karma that he's just getting back because he does that.
Yep. But it is the most, it's the least offensive thing about him is his looks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
By the way, y'all, we've been told that we thought it was a turtleneck, but it is indeed a V-neck.
Oh, it was a V-neck. It is a V-neck. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for telling us.
I'm sorry, I said that like
it just looked like one.
Thank you. Thank you.
So anyway, and then she said, I'm not a bottom feeder and the lowest of the low. And she said, I've never called you a name. And she's like, it's fine if you don't like me. And she said, I don't like you. I loathe you. And he's like, you don't even know what you said. He's like, look at me. I'm telling you right now in front of your face.
And yes. And so Alex comes in and he's like, Alex is just trying to, he doesn't really support Loren, but he doesn't go against, he's just trying to calm the situation.
He knows it's not really worth it. Yeah.
Jasmine knows how to drop a turd. Jasmine knows how to drop a turd in the pool, y'all. She walks in and she said, well, I just want to let you know what's going on. He said, you make your husband's life very miserable.
You always portraying you have the perfect life. And Alexi's face, that's when he just went, and Loren went, what?
What?
And y'all, he's like, she's a chauvinist. She's the anti-man. Again, he heard the word chauvinist one time, and it's the exact opposite. In most times, it's basically it's a male chauvinist. But I guess in a weird way, you might be able to have a female chauvinist, but the term is never used that way.
I looked it up this time because we talked about it. Yes, a misandrist. It
should be a misandrist. Yeah.
Some people could say man hater, but it's not. Yeah. It's not a female chauvinist.
Yeah, you would never say that. Anyway, I wrote down Angela looks awful this morning. It's like she aged 10 years in the night.
And
she does not. Kobe is like trying to talk to both Michael and Angela. He's like, Angela, you're such a sweet person, but you don't let anyone talk.
When you have anger, you don't talk. She's like, I know. It's so funny because or not funny, but just, it made me laugh because she's talking to Kobe. She's like, I know, I just feel stupid. I know sometimes I do stuff. And then like Michael walks in and she goes, you're a liar. It's like she becomes like, she's like a dog, like a passive dog that's nice to every dog, but hates that one dog. Yeah. And that one, probably like if we were in the dog world, the way you would behave, you would like and sniff other dogs. And as soon as I lumbered in the room, because let's be honest, I would be a fat golden retriever.
You would lumber.
You would immediately attack me.
Yeah, I'd bark at you. And then I'd get the other dogs to not let you sit with us.
And sadly, you wouldn't be a poodle. You would be like a mini pincher or a chihuahua.
I think I'd be a chihuahua. Big old bug eyes.
Shaking every time you have anxiety or you're cold.
Kind of like a mixed up chihuahua who just loves dog cum.
Okay.
Just taking all comers.
Sure. You're a chihuahua. You want to get fucked by a mastiff? Bring it on.
Exactly. I love a challenge. So they're kind of talking. Angela's basically saying, at one point, she screams, I pay taxes, motherfucker.
Wow.
Yo, you wonder why they keep covering her. You wonder it's because things like this. And you could not script things like this because it is gross to watch. And we can't, this is why we watch a lot of reality TV. We can't believe people behave this way, but they do.
I actually, want to say, I think one reason, yes, it's the abusiveness why people don't want to watch Angela. Sadly, I think there's people that see the relationship in this, and I hope that if we're talking about abuse or other cast members are in these houses, that maybe it gives them a bit of an aha. But also, there are people like this in our country currently, and I think a lot of people don't want to watch Angela. Don't want to see it. Don't want to think about the reality. And I actually think
fucking men, say it louder.
I actually think. Y'all, because Jake Poodle and I come from these places, this is a deep part of America, and probably a lot of people like Angela have 90-day fiancés. So I'm not saying that like she deserves to be, but I'm just saying I think it's important to know
to remember these people exist, and
because then
it's inconvenient to see them, but they exist.
And you need to know they exist,
and they vote.
That's why. Yes, and that's why important we vote and we get out there and you get involved or you give your money, and because this is America truly.
Yep.
Anyway.
It's not convenient and it's not what you want to think about, but it's there.
It's there. Anyway.
One of the Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry. What are you going to say, Pooh? Are you about to go on a
soapbox? And I'm not going to.
We can't. Okay. All right.
I almost went down that road, and I'm not going to.
Nope. It's probably best. Yep. Probably best. So anyway, so she walks out or acts like she's walking out. Y'all, she's going to come back.
Yeah, she always does. And Rob even says, "Look, it doesn't matter what he's done. No one deserves to be talked to that way." And at one point, y'all. Michael goes after Angela. Angela's dragging a bunch of bags behind her, looking like a crazy bag lady on the street.
Yes.
It was something. And that's when, and then at one point we're inside again, and Manuel just out of nowhere goes to Gino. He's like, Gino, you watch porn, right? What do you like? What kind of sites do you like? And y'all, this is totally right in front of Ashley, because y'all, this is how Manuel starts a fight. You can tell her.
Yeah.
You can tell she's like, he's doing this right in front of me, so she'll bring it up later so they can bang it out later.
Yeah.
Things feel a little normal. Again,
I'm not kink shaming. So I bet Ashley, y'all, they got a freaky deaky sex life.
Totally.
He's getting tied up.
And that's when they talk about girl on girl, like what we talked about in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And boobs. Jasmine comes out with it looks like she's put just mineral oil on her boobies.
and possibly like her breasts are bigger. Someone even comments. I really hate this dress on her.
It's so awful.
Yeah, I love the color, but that's it.
I don't know why they didn't let them do 3 looks.
I know. Well, continuity.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
From Love is Blind. That's why we got those gold goblets, Poods.
But here's the issue. We know it's done in 3 days now. And it feels like, give this to us. If you're gonna take down, if you're gonna open up the fourth wall a little bit, trust us more. Trust us.
Yeah. I would love 3 looks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's start the official tell-all.
The official tell-all day. Oh, wait. Is this day 1?
2.
All right. Day 2. I don't even know where we are anymore.
I wrote down, is Emily losing her voice?
Yeah, she's sick.
So is that it? Just that she's sick? Because I don't remember her ever having that much cheerleader voice.
No. Yeah, she's sick. She sounds sick to me. And I noticed she's not drinking too in the thing, so she's trying.
Well, she's preggo.
Oh yeah, that.
Anyway, this is actually new for this tell-all. Sean just leads off with talking about sleeping arrangements, Gino and Jasmine, what happened last night, and they kind of talked about that, and then she said. And Loren and Ed, I heard you got into it just a couple minutes ago. It's almost like what's happened on the season is less important than what's just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
it's a slippery slope. I don't know if it's going to work for him, but I mean, we just saw it, so I guess I think we can talk about it.
It was good TV because Loren says what she said that I loathed him, and then Ed immediately says, "You never apologized to my face," and he said it as if she said she was going to apologize, or and I thought, boy, you made a jump in the conversation because that was never implied, buddy, ever.
No.
And Lauren's like. They're kind of talking over each other, and he's just like, just say it to my face. Say it to my face. Bitch gets up and walks straight to little Ed's face.
This was such a fucking great moment.
It was a great moment. I applauded for Loren. And she said to him very calmly, without emotion, and she said, Ed, I think you're a bully and you're not nice to me. And
I think you're a chauvinist. You critique men. You attack me and Gino. And you've always defended women. What? And she would say, yeah, I've defended women.
She's like, she would say yes. And honestly, well, she hasn't sometimes in the past.
Exactly.
But anyway, it was a great moment.
Alexei, they're fighting back and forth. Alexei just finally goes, cut it out, both of you.
Yeah, he's like, look, can we just agree not to agree? We disagree.
So, y'all. Michael and Angela aren't there, and Kobe even says, we want Michael to express himself without Angela interrupting. And Ashley says, Angela does not want him talking to us. If you go to greet him, he's timid, he's distant, and guess what? As soon as she says that, they're coming back.
They're coming back. And you're right. Angela has never looked this sad, ever.
No.
Ever.
She's miserable.
She looks miserable. I believe Edwin says she might have a heart attack. I actually think she could from this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she's a martyr again, and she'll blame Michael for it.
Mm-hmm. She will.
Not 60 years of smoking.
No, not at all. Why would that do it?
Why would that do it? So, yeah, she comes back. But before we get to them, we're going to talk about Emily and Kobe. And Sean says, hey, are you ready for 3 kids? I enjoyed, because if y'all don't remember 3 Under 3, Alex wanted like 5 kids. And he said, yeah, have the 3rd one and you change your fucking mind.
Y'all, because their kids are spirited. If you've seen them on this season, yeah.
Your mom probably wanted a girl, but you and your brother ruined that.
Well, also she bled a lot when I was born, and so did my brother. So,
oh God,
we were hard on the body.
Oh, I'm sure she doesn't blame you for that at all.
Well, my brother was a very quick delivery. I was 19 hours.
Brought up every October
and
on
a month
birthday.
late.
Oh, you were a month late?
Yep.
They let you stay in for that long?
Yeah.
God,
almost.
that is so you. That is so you.
I'm like, I'm not going out there. I haven't prepared yet.
You were in that little wishing well of in that sack and just didn't want to go out.
I don't have anything prepared yet. Hold on, I'm still working on my opening statement to the world. Hold on, I'm not ready. Could I craft my cry a little louder? I'm not ready because I need to build up my cry. So I can just shout it and like scream. And so I scream and the doctor's face peels off.
I get that.
Yeah, I was almost 10 months when I was born.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. All right. We need to move on. So they talk about, they finally moved out. They bought a house, which we've talked about on the show. Lisa and David come out. And
God, I love them.
I love all of them. I love the whole family because there's this beautiful moment where Kobe starts crying because the weight of, he was like, when I moved here, I would have been homeless. I didn't have, he's like, they took care of everything for me. They paid for everything. They gave me a roof over my head. And he said, I wanted to honor my promise to them.
Yeah. That man never, he said he took care of everything. David starts to get emotional.
David is trying not to cry.
Kobe's such a good guy. And
he's so sweet.
And he says, he respects me and I respect him and I couldn't ask for a better son-in-law.
Yeah. He says good. And Emily says they're very close.
Yep. Sean says, Emily, are there times when Kobe has chosen your parents' side over yours? Yeah, a lot. Actually, most of the time.
Most of the time. Because, again, Emily is one of those people like on the tell-all in the house. She's kind of like Ashley, much better. But then in the relationship, when she gets pissed off or doesn't get her way, she goes literalmente crazy.
And then Kobe's like, well, you just don't you talk to your parents with a certain tone. Even if they're wrong, you shouldn't talk to them that way. She's like, that's what I do. It's what I do.
He says maybe it's an American thing. I want to push back on that and say I could not talk to my parents.
She's a spoiled brat. She's a brat.
My nephews couldn't do that. And then it's not just an Oklahoma thing. My goddaughters here in Los Angeles, if they ever talk to their mother that way, no.
I'm very shady to my mother, but when I'm talking to her for real, no. Because I know it'll come back to me later.
Y'all, if you're watching the video, you can look in his eyes and Poodle looks scared. That's what scared Poodle
comes back to me later. You'll pay.
That's not funny, but it is. Y'all, I'll never forget Poodle's face when he says, "Your mother said that to you, right? You'll pay."
I had to learn a lot that other people's parents.
I said, "No, Poodle. She didn't say that."
It wasn't like growing up in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
And he went,
"Oh, yeah."
It's like a sissy who explained in the Facebook group what soft parenting is. Because what show were we talking about that on?
Fucking Toe. Because it's actually
Corona.
Gentle parenting. Yeah, Corona and Inky, her soft partnering him.
Yes. Well, she laid it out for us, and I responded. So basically, nothing our parents did.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Yep, that's why we're doing it now."
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're talking about how much they love each other amidst the kids, blah 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 blah, and so I really kind of love Lisa too, because Lisa Lisa has boundaries, and Sean says, "Well, but you could babysit, right?" And Lisa says, "Once a week."
Once a week. I think that's great.
I think that's great.
Things are going great until Valerie comes in. Valerie's family
from Cameroon.
And he's like, they ask him what he thinks. I still have some issues. Him marrying a white woman. And then of course Angela has a lot of problems. It's like, you're against white women. I gotta be here to defend white women.
Well, because he says, well, now that he's married to a white woman, and Emily says, there it is. And that's kind of all she says about it.
Yep.
And Angela goes in this, and then her and Ashley keep saying, no,
he's not trying to be offensive.
He's not trying to be offensive, because Ashley's understanding the culture.
Yeah.
And we don't need to go into it. We've had long conversations about the culture of this show. What Angela, again, it goes back to what I say. We do have people here in America right now that are not acknowledging things that other people are seeing complexity in. And she's just like, nope, it's offensive.
You hate white women.
You hate white women.
Yeah. And so what he's saying is, how will the children have their own roots? Will you teach them? And the thing about what he's not he's thinking that Emily's going to, if she's going to be quote unquote bossy, a word I hate. But as soon as she's going to be bossy, that means we're going to do things the American way, and that's it. And
he says he wishes she was like a Cameroonian wife sometimes.
Kobe does, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the problem here, but Emily says, but that's not true. He's a very involved Cameroonian father. It's not like he moved here and his culture is gone. And she even calls him out. She's like, well, you do everything except for the language. You won't teach them French. And
I go back and forth on this, because it's really hard when you're one person who speaks a language in a household with kids when everybody's speaking English. Alexi and Loren, I thought they were a great couple to talk about this too. Although I don't know if Loren, I don't know how well she speaks.
She speaks enough Hebrew to get by.
Yeah. So I think it would be better if whether it's French or whatever, that Emily is learning it with them but I know she's busy raising, like she does probably a lot of parenting, but
there are also a lot of people who come to this country, and especially this was a couple of generations back, where they're thinking, I do want to assimilate, and maybe me spending so much time holding on to things from a previous country isn't great. So that's another I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm saying that is something that people have. They're like, I want to become American.
That is, people, especially I think kids that are our age that had bilingual parents are from that generation where their parents are like, we don't speak Spanish in this house.
Right. You're going to learn English. Yeah.
And we don't know kind of what culture because what I love is we can't assimilate, Nigeria, Cameroon, Africa as Americans. We can't just lump it all into one cultural, because Kobe actually says he did not come from a family that supports second, third wives.
Polygamy, yeah.
Yeah. So he talks about that is not, because that brings up, this topic is brought up when we talk about if Kobe was cheating or not. This is kind of dumb.
I feel like we're so in the weeds when we talk about it. And
that's weird.
So Sean, they bring up that if it's a boy, their new baby, they want to name him Valerie. And
well, no, she says after Valerie, but I don't know if that name or not. Because his name, they did have a son, and his name's Atem. I believe that's how you say it.
Atem, yeah.
Atem,
yeah, I guess.
But I wonder if that was Valerie's. But I feel like, I don't know if we wade into this conversation because we are two childless gay men, but I know of. But so sissies, come at us in the comments and let us know what you think. But just quickly, kind of like, what do we think about? Is there? Because Loren says they should compromise on this name thing. Emily's like, no, it's coming out of my hoo-hoo, my vagina. I get to do the name. And Kobe's like, seems very, actually, you can tell it actually really bothers Kobe. So what do you think about this?
I think a name, first of all, if you have two kids, it's pretty easy. One chooses one name and one chooses the other.
Yeah, that is easy.
And I think the third could be a combination. And I
like,
don't.
You wanted to be Braylon. You wanted Mackenzie, so Mackenzie.
Eureka in the bathtub. Mackenzie. God, I laughed. So I think what I would just say is put it in the kid's middle name. No one's going to give a shit. I think, I don't know. If it was someone who didn't like me, I think for me, if I was Emily, I would really try to take my own ego out of it and think, how important is this person to Kobe? And how important is naming his child after a certain person in his life who's done a lot for him?
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I can see the other half, though, that this is also not someone who just doesn't like her, but is actively,
I agree,
told her husband, you should not be with her.
I would, if I was Emily, I would say.
So that to me, that's a different line.
You can name him Valerie or put in his middle name, but you need to tell him you're married to me. That's it. Stop complaining.
Maybe that's what I'd say. I would say, like, if we're going to name our child after him, you have to say,
fuck off.
Well, although that's not really it's really Kobe making the decision. So
yeah,
I don't know. We don't know what his middle name is. Some sissy will find out. Yeah.
So one other thing here, when he said, he's like, I'm going to love the child, but I might be a monster. I was like, that's a weird thing to say.
Who said that?
Kobe. It was a really weird thing to say.
Did he meet a monster about the name?
I don't know.
It was
confusing. Just like, it was a weird thing to say.
It was.
I just,
because he's such a great dad.
I had to rewind it. Later on, this is more ex-girlfriend stuff.
Yeah, this part kind of, the whole thing is now, basically, Kobe was like,
find out he was sending her money.
He was sending her money, somewhat. And Kobe says, I can't say I was in love. He said, but basically, it was like there was a window because because Loren. Oh, wait, no, that's the other thing. But because everybody goes in about it. But I wish people would have, like, Sean Robinson, I wish she would have asked people, do you think this was, because she kind of asked for a show of hands. But to me, I feel like he was an underwear model with a girlfriend. He was going to China.
Right.
Probably they talked about it with a pass. It wasn't that serious. So he said there was this window. We're assuming. We don't know. Maybe he told the girl, I love you. You're my one and only. And then he pulled a poodle and went to China and banged a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But
we had no agreement.
Yeah, no agreement. So we don't know. If Kobe's explaining it truthfully, I don't feel like it was cheating per se. But some people here did.
I think it was pretty nebulous. The point here is, who gives a fuck? Like, we're so past this, and I
have
just
3 kids.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's not going anywhere.
Y'all, the thing you need to remember is
one thing I just want to say is, he's like, Sean said, did you only want to marry Emily because she was pregnant? He's like, no, when we met, there was no love. I just wanted to fuck her. And the parents go,
no. And I think what they meant, he kind of, that no, he married her because he did love her. And so they just had to explain. And Emily says, he said, I love you first. But I think he answered the question incorrectly. But it was pretty hilarious. David was like, we're in the room, parents in the room. He's funny. So Valerie leaves. Bye. David and Lisa leave. But
they have Coben on their socks.
But he has his grandson on his socks. Let's briefly wrap this up and talk about.
Did you like what Jasmine said? Valerie complained about American women. He hasn't been introduced to Latino women.
Oh.
You think American women are bossy?
Man wouldn't stand a chance. All right, let's talk about, speaking of bossy,
just a
American
little
women,
bit.
Angela and Michael.
I wrote down, oh no.
Michael likes chicken nuggets, everyone.
Who
Chicken
doesn't?
nuggets.
They're wonderful.
Angela's just sitting there, just looking pissed.
What was your read on this? Why she looked like it was almost like she went. She was having her first, like, we saw her, like, y'all. Angela wasn't angry. She was depressed. This is an existential fucking crisis. She wanted this guy here, and she thought it would solve all her fucking problems. She'd finally be happy for once, and now she's more miserable than she started.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're seeing it in real fucking time.
And I think she's seeing that she got herself into this mess.
Yeah.
And Alex helped. And also this idea for her that she said this several times behind the scenes at the house. I look crazy. I look like angry. I look scream, which you do. You look all those things because that is a behavior that you enact.
Yeah.
But I think we also see this moment where she's trying not to do it. She's trying to sit there and hold it in because she's like saying, I don't want to be screaming and crazy. And so then whenever she erupts, this is a different type of screaming that we have never seen.
This was terrifying.
This was scary. Like it was always abusive. I don't know if it felt safe, but you always felt like Angela was playing up for the cameras, being Jerry. This was visceral, guttural, and real.
You know what it felt like? It felt like there's a circus animal who's been trained to behave a certain way. An elephant who's been trained to charge and perform and do all kinds of or a chimp or something like that to throw around things and throw its poop at people. And that's what they were supposed to do at the circus. They were to be gawked at and screamed. They scream at people and everyone laughs at them. And now, all of a sudden, that's not enough anymore. And when you can't do it, and when you're not being told to make people angry, you have to sit down and feel something.
Yes.
And it becomes personal. And it was crazy to watch. So they do ask. They're like, Michael, what's some of the weird things about Angela's house? Like, these cats are running around, and one of them was licking my face. So apparently there are 4 cats in Angela's house.
In that house. Y'all, that house smells like cat. It smells like cat. But
he does say he's a good grandfather.
Even Angela says he's a really good granddaddy, and she gets teary. And this is actually the genesis of where this explosion of anger comes, because she gets sad, because y'all, anger is a secondary emotion. So she's like saying, when he was there, one of my granddaughters cried, and then my grandson, he's always wanted a man around, and so now he's got Michael.
She doesn't know that we saw that yet. She doesn't know that made it into the tell-all cut or the season. Yeah,
she doesn't know that. So then, when they say they haven't been intimate since he stepped on American
U.S. soil, and she said we should have it, and he says,
Michael says, you're always talking about the cheating.
I'm human, I have emotions, don't talk to me like I'm a baby, I'm your husband, for Christ's sake. And then she said, in that tone of voice that you were talking about, you cheated and told the bitch you'd get the visa, and you told her you would handle me. How am I supposed to forget that? It was terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying. She's screaming, you're always a victim. She kind of calms down. Skyla comes out to talk. Ugh. And she sits, and Sean says, well, Skyla, how would you say things are going? And Skyla says, well, Mama is miserable. She's not happy. Her. And so that's what she's saying, that
they
Michael...
don't even go out to eat anymore together at the barbecue place.
Michael doesn't show any affection, and he's not sweet to her. He avoids her. And this is chicken or the egg thing. Is it potentially that Michael is scamming her? I would argue to say if he was scamming her and he still needed his green card, though, wouldn't he be showing her affection? To me, I feel like he's avoiding her because he's behaving like someone who's been abused.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's scared to get more abuse. That's what I think. But Michael, they start yelling again, and Michael says, you're always talking about cheating. She's like, I'm gonna sin. She said something like,
why not just go back?
And he says, then send me
back home.
And y'all, I laughed, like Loren's face especially, and everybody's face. They're like
Ashley too.
They're like mug. Oh, mugging.
It's very drag queen. Yeah. That is your tell-all part 2.
I enjoyed these. I'm liking this. Sorry, y'all. Who's with me? Who's trash with me out there? Let me know. Are you enjoying this type of tell-all too? Because I am.
I thought I would hate it, and I'm pleasantly surprised.
Well, there we go. All right, everyone.
That's all you're getting out of me.
That's all you're getting out of Poodle. Y'all, you can listen to this episode without any commercials. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/realitygaze or realitygaze.supercast.com or on Apple podcast subscriptions and tap that little button, and that'll make sure you sign up for the $8 mid-level tier, and that is our commercial-free edition of the pod. For what, Poodle?
Your pleasure.
For your pleasure. So thank you so much for your support and all of that. Again, listen to that By Curious. I sound like that woman. The By Curious of Forbidden Love. That's on our $5 tier. And celibacy. And next week, this is a good month to sign up even for $5 because this month you are getting Love is Blind
UK. You're gonna get just like every hole filled.
I gotta say though, I sound like an encyclopedia salesman now, but I just want to say, but friend, for $3 more. Just a cup of coffee at not even cheaper than a cup
Not
of Starbucks
anymore.
coffee. Yeah, unless you go to 7-Eleven. They got cheap, good coffee. Anyway,
Really?
it's not bad.
It's road coffee for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, for $3 more a month, y'all need to hear us talk about Mama Plath's houseboat, y'all, because it is fuck, and her makeup and all four men.
You took her makeup personally.
I do every time. Well, you took personally that there were 4 or 3 shirtless men that were actual brothers, your favorite type
Hitler's
of porn,
dream.
and you could not. You were completely turned off.
No, it just felt like an advertisement for Nazis.
No, it's so great, and also we're only 1 episode in, but Love After Lockup. That is especially if you're on Patreon, Supercat, but that is the most comments and engagement. Everybody talking about that.
Yeah,
so there's a great place for us to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm jazzed, but all about all of them except for the one story that I don't like, and everything else which is good for me.
Yeah. That's great for Poods. So y'all, we've got a lot going on this, as Poodle said, or Augusto. Oot. That's what you said. Oot. So check it out. You can go to realitygaze.com to find all this information.
Because nothing happens good in August.
No, not usually.
Just stay with us.
Stay with us. You can go to or leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on Spotify. We appreciate it very much. And last but not least, follow us on social media.
And the TikTok, y'all. We got to get back up 26,000.
Y'all, I feel like I'm manifesting, but I really feel like with Before the 90 Day coming up and the memes that we will be making,
please.
This is the potential for us to go viral again and get some memes. So here's to hoping. But that's it. Our TikTok is what? Reality Gaze Pod, correct?
Reality Gaze Pod.
So
not Reality Gaze anymore.
Yeah. So is our Instagram, though, Reality Gaze Pod. And then our Twitter is
Reality Gaze Podcast.
There we go.
Actually, no, it's the opposite. Reality Gaze Podcast is Instagram.
And yes, there we go. It's all on the website. You can check it there. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We will see you next week. But until then, we call these people lonely hearts that are looking for love in all the wrong places. Don't we, Poodle?
Yes. And remember, if you've ever asked someone if you were in love with someone, you're like, love? I just wanted to fuck them. It's even better when their parents are right there.
Said that.
Call us.
Call us.